Ladies, so today we're going to be talking about 7 things that tell as a man that you have class, all right? And now class is not like Rose from Titanic. That's not class to me, all right? Class is more of it doesn't have to do with money. It doesn't have to do with how much money your parents have, because you could be someone of low income and still be classy, right? You could be someone who lives in poverty, but you're still a classy person. That's completely possible. So we're gonna talk about what are some of the things that you gotta do to convey that you have class to yourself, that you have class to a man, right? Because when a man doesn't think you're classy, he's gonna automatically think you for the streets, all right? Because the opposite of class is off the streets, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So we're gonna talk about that. And don't forget, we're going to London for a seminar. It's about nonverbal communication, how to communicate value through your nonverbal cues. It's gonna be at the end of July. It's gonna be a 2-day seminar. I already decided on that. And if you guys ever wanna work with me one-on-one and call me like I just talked to a client right now, go to mindfulattraction.org, and there you guys can get coaching by me. And don't forget, I'm actually on my way to a meditation retreat. It's gonna be a 4-day silent retreat, I think. I'm not too aware of, and I'm going to a bunch of retreats because I'm pretty much coming out with my course, Emotional Mastery, which is a 7-week course on mindfulness. So you want to pre-order it now. It's the best course I've done to date. All right, so purchase it right now, or else pre-order it now when I'm closing the channel. All right, and hit the like button and subscribe. So look, let's talk about this. The first thing is the most important thing to look classy to a man, and this has been shown across all cultures, right? And that's chastity and sexual fidelity. If you're able to communicate to a guy that you have chastity and sexual fidelity, you're gonna come across as classy. At the least, you're not gonna come across like you're from the streets, because nothing makes a woman look unclassy as a woman who cheats, and as a woman who bangs everyone, right? Who bangs the whole football team, all right? And it's not, for example, right? And chastity is not about the amount of guys you've been with. It really isn't. It's all about how much guys you've been with relative to other women around you. So if Melissa from the block banged bang like the whole football team, like the whole squad, and everyone else in your neighborhood bang like 400 guys, as an example, right? Melissa looks like a girl who has chastity, because relative to other women, she doesn't have sex with as many guys. But then let's just say you live in a Mormon community and you bang one dude, and all the other girls around you haven't. They're virgins. All of a sudden, you look like the slut, right? So chastity is relative to other people, relative to other women, and women instinctively know this. So what you got to do is make sure that you come across like you're someone who hasn't been with a lot of dudes, right? And this whole shit of feminism, telling guys, I don't give a fuck about the numbers that I've been to, the numbers of guys that I've been with. I think you should care, because either whether or not the guy wants to, he will judge you. Maybe he will not judge you consciously with his frontal cortex, but his reptilian brain, the part of him that has been evolutionarily wired to care about whether or not a woman has a lot of partner, does care. You wanna know why? Because men who don't care about his woman being with other men were not successful in the game of reproduction. They were cock-hooded, and maybe some dude had their kid and he took care of them. So it is important. Chastity is important. So you gotta make sure you communicate that. So that means you can't be, look, nothing wrong with being a stripper or a porn star and whatnot, but I'm sorry, if you do any of that kind of stuff, you can't get the late, like, cause I got some OnlyFans women watching my channel, and I don't wanna disrespect you, but that's just the truth. That's why you gotta keep that shit to yourself. Make sure you put the settings to go to another country and not in this country. So chastity and fidelity. So if you cheated on someone, you better keep that shit to yourself. You better not reveal that like just because you're being honest. No, you keep that shit to yourself. You keep the fact that you banged the whole football team. You keep that shit to yourself. You don't tell somebody that. And even if a guy says I don't judge you, trust me, he judges you. Trust me, they judge you on that. The next one is that you take care of what you have. You take care of the clothes that you have. You take care of your apartment. You make everything look as pretty as possible. That is classy. Honestly, I lived in a poor neighborhood, And there is classy people, and the classiest ones are the ones that dress the nicest, not the ones that have the most money, but the ones that make an effort to dress nice, that make an effort to make their families look good, that make an effort to not look slutty in the way that they dress, to make an effort to look classy, right? And again, look, I'm not here to judge people. Look at me, right? I'm not here to judge. I'm not the classiest guy on the planet, right? So I'm not here to judge, but I'm just saying that a guy will judge you based on that.
To add to the dressing part, it's not just dressing nice, but also not dressing too slutty. You can show off one part of your body, so if you have nice, heavies and stuff like that, you can show that off, right? But make sure everything else looks conservative around it. The point is, it's just not to look slutty. It's just that simple. Don't show off too much. There is a middle ground to it.
So that means you gotta learn how to dress nice, even if you have poor means, and it is possible. You can Google it, right? That looks pretty. So one of the most important things to look classy is ornamentation, chains, like jewelry. Women, if you want to look really nice and classy, dress and make sure to have nice ornaments. That really adds to the image. All right. So we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you can purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and Nice Girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it, with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: Psychological Game of Attraction, which is for women who are single; Natural Chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; Nice Girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: social mastery, practical mastery in terms of how to master anything, social mastery in terms of how to master your social skills, and the laws of human nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you can get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. But if you guys want to purchase a more affordable bundle, you guys can purchase the bundle without the bonuses, and that will be at $224 rather than the $300. Well, rather than the $293 that you guys would naturally purchase it. So you could purchase it with the bundle or without the bundle. You could purchase it with the bonuses or without the bonuses. And everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle, and I'll see you guys inside.
All right. So the next one, she talks in a soft way and doesn't talk hood, all right? And now hood is not a black thing, people. It's not a Puerto Rican thing, okay? Hood is a general thing. It's a white thing. It's an everyone type of thing. You cannot be talking hood around people and expect to be taken seriously. You gotta learn. And what I mean by that, I mean raising your voice too loud, speaking too fast, cursing a lot. People, that was me, cursing a lot, having, like, being vulgar with your language, and just having, like, so just learn to slow down, pronounce your words, don't speak too loud, don't respond too fast, and don't get angry when you talk, right? If you just learn to develop a soft, relaxed voice when you speak, without the cursing, without the raising your voice, without clapping, that kind of stuff, it comes across as classy. But when I talk to a girl and she's like, "Hey man, look man, this nigga motherfucker right here, man, I'm like, oh, what the fuck, like what's going on here?" And I hate to say that, but you want someone who's well spoken, and that's just a fact. Royal and confident body language at home and in private. You have confident body language, so that means you move slower, like I say, you move slower. And by confident body language, I mean you take up space when you sit. Now, that don't mean you open up your legs when you sit. Like, unfortunately, ladies, that's, it's not like, I hate to feel like I'm talking down to you guys. Like, I hate to sound like you know what I'm saying, coming across as like an arbiter of class, because I'm not. But it's just that what I observe, what makes a woman classy. She's confident. She eats well. She moves. There's like a certain like royalness, like almost as though you're a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like a queen's way of demeanor. A perfect example of that is Daenerys. It's Game of Thrones. The girl with the red hair, not the one that was used by Joffrey, but the one that was manipulated. That manipulated Joffrey. Like she was a classy lady. She had a air to her. She walked with her chin up. She didn't look down. She walked with her chest up. Right? She walked slow, right? Her eyes weren't constantly looking around. She looked at people in the eye. And she had like a subtle smile about her. She wasn't frowning. She had like a subtle smile, a confident smile. And when you sit, you want to take up space, right? You want to sit while you take up space. When you listen, you want to listen intently. As you listen, take up space as you listen, right? Or maybe you could just stand with your back straight. Make sure your back is straight when you sit, right? All of those things communicate class. The type of humbleness that I'm referring to isn't a type where you feel superior to people, where you're looking down on people, where you only make eye contact with people who have something to offer, but it just means where you walk with a confidence, but not out of arrogance, right? Not out of I'm better than you, not out of don't look at me because I'm better than you, right? Where you walk around like you own the streets. That's not what I'm talking about. That means you look at people and you understand that you're not better than them, and you understand that you and them are equal. Because if you don't have this deep understanding, you're gonna radiate a certain arrogance that's unattractive, and it's men don't consider that classy, right? You want to have that almost like Mother Teresa vibe. I'm not kidding with you. Like you want to have that like Oprah, selfless, loving type of energy, like the type of energy that you think of when you see somebody petting a dog or a mom who loves their kids. That type of stuff is the type of class that I'm talking about. The type of class that makes people respect you, that makes people respect your character, where you put others first before you, but not too first before you to the point where they take advantage of you, but the type where you want to help people as long as you don't go out of your way. Because when you come across as arrogant, it just says insecurity, you know, and it's not a good look. Especially for women, people are less forgiving for arrogant women, and it's a cultural thing. I get it, but that's just a fact. They're just less forgiving. A woman who looks arrogant looks more arrogant as opposed to a man who has the same level of arrogance. The other thing is that you conform with your age. As you're getting older, you don't try to look 20, you don't try to dress like the 20-year-olds, you don't try to be, and we all know when we see that, when someone who has not accepted their age, they have certain things about them that radiates from them and not in a positive way, right? And that means that when you're getting older, you dress your age. And again, people, I'm not somebody to speak, okay? But it's just what I observe. The next one is that you control your emotions. Controlling your emotions is the most important thing to communicate class. If you do not control your emotions, you're gonna come across as classless, as unhinged, and crazy. And one of the ways to communicate that is to develop a meditation practice. You don't have to show that you control your emotions. Just develop a meditation practice. And also showing that you control your emotions is all about not gossiping. It's all about learning to speak without getting angry, learning to speak without getting agitated, without getting defensive, right? And also it means patience. It means not speeding things up. It means letting people come to you and not you coming to them. All of those things show that you control your emotions, that you don't go to conclusions, that you don't project, that you don't assume that every person is trying to play you, right? You show that through your demeanor, and the easiest way to develop that is to develop a meditation practice. It's just that simple. Develop a meditation practice or purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. Pre-order it now, right? And because this type of person will always have a life with no drama. If you control your emotions, you have no drama in your life. It's just that simple. When you have no emotional control, you always have drama. There's always some shit going around Melissa. Always some shit happening around Melissa. And the last thing is that you are unselfish. You give to others, right? You put others first. Not too much, nice girls, but you give to charity. You help people below you. You show people that you care about others, that you're not just in it for yourself, right? When you are able to communicate that, and unfortunately, people, I hate to say it, the easiest way to communicate that is just to give to the poor in public. Like, I don't do that type of shit, but you know, people see through that. Look, in a few weeks, you might see me fucking donating to kids in Africa. I don't fucking know, but it does work. It makes people think you're a good person. People are that silly. They believe that shit. Yeah. Anyways, the other one is not being argumentative. If you're someone who's known to argue with everyone, who needs to win every single argument, people notice that type of stuff, and it just comes across as way too defensive, right? Sometimes you want to let people win certain arguments, especially if they care about it more. And another one is that, yo, if you really want to earn people's respect, if you really want to show your character, never let other people talk about your friends behind their back, especially if they're being unfair. It's one of those moments when you should definitely never stand up to them. Stand up to people gossiping about the people that you love, because even if you guys get into an argument because you're defending your friend, deep down, everyone around who's observing that will respect you for it. It's a classy thing to do, not being a gossiper and stopping people from gossiping about your friends. Like, it's, if I heard somebody does that for me, I will gain so much respect for them, right? And that kind of stuff is something that whenever you see that opportunity, take that opportunity to do it. You're only gonna win from that. And also, it's just being a good person. In other words, just don't come across as though you just came out of the Jerry Springer show, all right? Anyways, man, I hope this video makes sense, man. If you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. Click on the description down below to get individual coaching. We have monthly coaching, which is called Coaching Pocket, where you guys can call, where you guys have access to me 24/7. So you guys can purchase that right now. Coaching Pocket it's my most comprehensive coaching option that I have. And if you guys ever if you're in London, attend my London seminar. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can become Patreon supporters, and that's how you can support the channel, people, okay? Anyways, I'll see you guys later, and be safe.